Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you are watching this, and welcome back to the Knit Crochet Read Repeat podcast channel. This is another Monday vlog. This is Monday the 2nd of March, the first Monday of March, and we have glorious sunshine outside. It's still a bit cold, but it's sunny, so let's take that as a very good positive note. My name is Kirby, my pronouns are they, them, and I am coming to you from Paisley, and like I said, it is sunny. There is some blue sky, a lot of white clouds, but some blue sky, which is very nice. And Paisley is just a stone's throw away from Glasgow, which is in Scotland. So hello again. It is the afternoon. I didn't sleep all this time. I have been up, I have been out. I'm now back home. It is 10 to 1 in the afternoon. I am feeling a little low energy, but we're okay. Like, we have the rest of the afternoon to chill and just get some stuff done. I was out first thing this morning. My husband had a medical appointment for a sore shoulder that he's been having. And then I parted ways with him because I had a medical appointment because I had my next B12 injection. I've been getting those for a good couple of months now. We might be close to a year. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember when they got started. And then I just had a really nice casual walk home because he took the car. And then I have done some housework. Not as much as I would like to have done. Who likes to do laundry and cleaning and all that jazz? But I have got some done. The washing machine I think is just finished and needs put on a spin. And then probably after this first recording I'm going to go have some lunch. There is an Oogie behind you. I hope to get a very quick clip of her because she is just perfectly snuggled up in a ray of sunshine. She was looking mighty cute, but I think she's in a little bit of a huff with me because I went out the house today. But yeah. I have a couple of projects to show off straight off the bat. I got a row completed on my scrappy sock stripe blanket. The last time this got shown off on the podcast, it was around about this stitch marker. I think I'd done a couple of rows before I was just like, oh, stitch marker. And so I've put it in roughly where I picked it up after the podcast. And I've got a whole row completed. I had swapped needles with my friend just over or just under 2 weeks ago. And I'm hopeful to get those needles back. I prefer wooden needles, but she needed a slightly shorter circumference for her hat. And that's my needles were the right size and a slightly shorter circumference, so we swapped. And she got the hat finished, and if you would like to go see her hat, check out Maddie on the House of Langford. That's on her newest podcast. And then I talked about this on my last Monday vlog, and I'd taken a notion. I'm just going to take a quick swig of my water. My mouth feels very dry. I had talked about this briefly, but not shown it off on my last Monday podcast. I had taken a notion for a very simple granny stripe shawl. Mostly because the shawl, the crochet shawl I'm working on, which is the Lost in Time shawl, it's not the most in-depth shawl. It's not a very complicated shawl. It's just a time-consuming shawl, especially I'd say like 3 or 4 of the rows, and I think it's 11 or 12 rows that are just constantly repeated, so you're constantly getting those time-consuming rows, and then the more you put into it, the bigger the shawl gets, and therefore the rows that were already time-consuming take so much longer. And I love that shawl. I love how it's working up. I can't wait to have it finished, but it's also a shawl I cannot watch a YouTube channel, or I can't watch like a movie or something with it on. Or specifically, the reason I started this one I'm about to show you is because Scott and I are working through a game called Atlas Fallen, and he plays, I watch, and kind of give slightly helpful hints if he's missed something. And I just wanted something that I could work on and not have to look at it. And I thought something with a granny stripe would be perfect. So I had 3 balls of this Shetland Heather Aran, which is from Woolcraft, in shade Z004. I had 3 and a bit balls of this yarn. So just over 300 grams, over 200, no, not over 200 meters, it's 200 meters a ball. It's a 25% wool, 75% acrylic, and again, 200 meters. And so I'm over 600 meters of yarn, and it's a big one. I will take a clip of me wearing it later on because I just don't want to smack the microphone and make a horrible noise. But it's done. I got this finished last night, so just over a week of this project. I put a small tassel on, but I've kept the ends not woven in or cut because I don't know who this is going to be for. I made it for the sake of making something, using up some yarn, and I'm going to see if anyone wants it, and then if no one in my immediate like circle wants it, I'm going to offer it further out and be like, who wants this? It's free. Just enjoy it and wear it and treat it good. But yeah, it's big. Like, it's just wider than my wingspan. So that's, I don't want to say impressive because shawls can be every size, but I'm very happy with it. I'm just trying to decide if I want to keep it. I have so many other shawls and so many other things I want to make, and I can't keep everything I make. What else? I have been working on my fundraiser blanket project. I'm not going to show it off. I was working on a video of it just itself, and I might try and keep that going, but it's been a long time since I picked it up, and there's personal reasons for that I'm not going to get into at this point. But I've been putting a good amount of rows on that. Let me see if I can find where it was so I can quickly see how many rows. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23. So I put 23 rounds on that blanket, which I'm very happy about. And I'm going to continue to pick that up and get some progress on it because I would like it to be done soon and start the fundraiser. That's going to be fundraising for a couple of different cancer charities, but one of the big ones is going to be the Beatson Centre, which is in Glasgow. But there'll be more about that down the line. And then the other project I've only really just started working on, and I cast this on Saturday morning, so it's only, well, we're Monday, so it's not been very long, is I started a sock for my mum. It's like a purpley maroon, and it changes throughout. So at the top here there is a bit of pink in it, and then it's, so I'd say it's like a barber pole yarn. So you can see like on this bit it's orange with purple, and then if you kind of look down here it's like yellow with the purple. So the purple is the constant, and then it just depends where the ply yarn is on it. And this is a Regia yarn. I would show you the ball band for it, but it's on the floor and you do not need that much of a close-up of my head. I'll get it later on and show you. So started this for my mum just to have something for bag project knitting, outside the house knitting, that kind of thing. And I did start this to go to my haircut on Saturday. Not that you can tell from how I'm sitting. Let's just fluff that up a wee bit. But I ended up not knitting on it at the appointment, and that's a good thing. I had a lot of hair come down the front of the cape and it just would have covered the yarn. So I started it for nothing, but it's never a bad thing to have car knitting or meeting knitting or appointment knitting or out the house knitting. But I am taking it slow because sometimes knitting is still hurting the hands. So, agenda for today. I need to pick out the yarn for the next 2 squares on the Coziest Memories blanket. And then I'm going to see how my hands feel after that. If they're okay, I would like to re-knit the square from the Rad Vent Throw. The orangey yarn that I had last time. I'm still trying to figure out what my gauge is for that one. I think I'm going to try 3mm needles. I think that's what I'm going to go for. And then I'm going to compare it to the blanket that's already joined up together. But I need to remember I stretched those out. Like I technically blocked those squares. I dry blocked them. Like I just stretched them out. That was it. But yeah, I wish I had just said on a video what size needles I had used, but I didn't. So that's annoying. My own fault. Absolutely and utterly my own fault. So yeah, so 2 squares on the Coziest Memories blanket. I'd like to get those done and dusted today. And then if my hands are up for it, at least re-knit that one Rad Vent square. If I get more than one done, that would be a bonus. But I also really want to start a new amigurumi project because, excuse me, that's the bad point to having a drink of water. I was chatting with a friend who's going through like a really tough time at the moment, and I was just like, she said something, it just in passing, she said something. And I was just like, light bulb, and messaged one of the girls in one of the craft groups I go to, and I asked if she could tell me the details of an amigurumi project she'd not long finished, and she gave me the details. I've got the pattern and I just can't wait to make it. But I want to do like a test run of the pattern first of all. I've been told it's very in-depth. I think it was like 52 pages, I want to say, but it looked really well written. There was like photographs. There's also different design elements to suit what you want to do, like how you want it to look. And so some of those pages I don't think I'll even have to look at. Maybe it'll just be like, jump to this page and you miss out 2 or 3. I don't know. But I'd like to make a start on the test version so that I can start her version, so that I can get that to her, because sometimes it's just nice to have something to squish and cuddle when you're going through crap. So there's that. So yeah, we'll see how the day goes, and I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm not going to push myself too hard. I am, however, going to go heat up my lunch. I made chicken curry last night and it was utterly delicious, and we tend to cook to have at least enough leftovers for Scott and I each to have a portion for lunch. But I also finally made my cottage pie yesterday with mashed potato, not the potato waffles. I'd done some meal prepping, and I have 4 portions of that in the freezer, because on a Tuesday night when I go to my craft group, and then on a Thursday night when twice a month, I don't have time to cook after work. I finish at 6 and both groups start at 7. So I just don't really have time to come down from work, prepare, cook and then eat. So by preparing the food beforehand or having leftovers, it just makes my life so much easier, and I know I'm going to have a good meal. Don't know why that took me 3 attempts to say good meal. But yeah, I have chicken curry for lunch, so I'm going to go heat that up. Oh, I just looked at Iggy. She looks even more cute now. If you don't have a fur baby to understand how cute fur babies can be, then you're not going to understand. But Oogie is my baby. She is my fur baby. And she's dreaming. She's all twitchy. Right. I am going to take a quick clip of Oogie, a quick clip of me wearing the shawl, and then I'm going to go heat up my lunch. Then we'll pick out the yarns, get started on the squares, and find a YouTube video to watch. And let's see how the day goes. Hello, Grumpy. Is the sun gone now? Is the sun gone? So I can't find, in my trolley where most of my knit needles are, I can't find 3mm needles. If I can only find 4 and not a 5th one. So I get to play find and seek in one of these, which has 2 boxes where it's mostly interchangeables, but under the layer is like a pack of DPNs, like a multi-pack. And I'm really hoping in that pack there is a 3mm with 5 needles, because I don't want to have to buy a whole new pack. So let's randomly start with this one, because I don't know which one it's in, so this could be fun. It wasn't in the purple one, but it was in the one literally beside it, which is the second box I've opened, and here they are. So I have 3s and I have 2.75s, which would have been the next one I would try. So yeah, I'm just gonna take this all downstairs with me, because I have 4 of these bamboo ones downstairs, and I would just literally one of these, but I'm still going to take them down just in case I need the 2.75s. I'd rather take it all down and not have to come back upstairs. So we found the needles. So back to the project we're going to work on for sure today, and I've actually picked out 3 minis for the Coziest Memories blanket, because I have 3 left for this row, so it seemed really fitting. And even if I don't get to the 3rd one, at least I've kind of picked it out. So this will be the first one we do, then the blue, then lastly this really gorgeous kind of orangey yellow fire color. So we'll pop that one in there for now, along with that one, as the purple runs away from me. This was like completely out of shape when I picked it out. Like the innards were like literally kind of like that. So I've tried to squash it in as much as I can, but I think I'm just going to ball it up before I get started, just to make my life so much easier, because otherwise it's going to get messy, it's going to get tangled, and it will not be fun. Hello again, just checking in. I got my 3 squares done, and then I've just decided to not touch any knitting. And I've also decided not to start the amigurumi tonight. What I have done is I have picked up the yarn that I specifically bought for a project, which was the matrix hood. When I started making that on the needles, on the hook that it requested, it was just so sore on my wrist. Like, the gauge was so incredibly tight. So because I bought 6 balls of this and it's just sitting there with no project in mind anymore, I decided to start a really large granny square. And this is probably going to be very weighty when it's done, and I'm probably just going to give it away to somebody. It's not a blanket I had in mind to be working on, but it keeps me busy whilst we're playing
Atlas Fallen.
Thank you, Atlas Fallen. And it also uses up a ton of yarn. So we are 280 grams per ball and 80 meters per ball as well. So not a lot of meterage, but still a lot of yarn. This isn't in my Ravelry stash, but I have taken a photo and I will be popping it on there, along with the yarn from the crochet shawl that I showed you much earlier in the video. So yeah, I had no intentions of working on this tonight, but it is what it is. I'm working on a 15mm crochet hook, so quite chunky, and it is a little bit sore on, like, let me swap, like the edge of my hand. Like you can see like the big crease right there. It's a little bit sore right there because that's where the end of the hook sits. It's not a long hook. So we'll see how much I get done. Sorry for the really bad camera ship. But yeah, I just thought it would be interesting to make something like this, see how big it gets, and then just gift it to somebody at the end of the day. So this is how much I've got done so far. One ball got me 5.5 rounds before I had to get the second ball out. And like I say, I've got 6 in total, so it's not going to be huge, but it's going to be weighty at the end of the day. This could be a really good weighted blanket for somebody. So let's see how we get on. Sorry for the really bad angle, but it's as good as you're going to get. But this has grown significantly. We are 4 balls of yarn in. It drapes across the lap really well. Excuse the hands. This is kind of sitting just under my bust, and it's down to pretty much my lower shin. And I've still got 2 balls of yarn to go. Hello. Are you going to speak? Hi, cutie. Oh, hi, baby girl. So yeah, I got a good amount done today. Like I say, I've got 2 balls of yarn left, and with Scott's input, what I've decided, instead of keeping going with the square and getting like a really odd shape and not being able to like drape it around you, I'm going to put a ball of yarn and just work back and forth to get length here. And then on the opposite side, I'm going to do back and forth to get length here. So it becomes rectangular instead of square. And then we can wrap it around, well, whoever gets the blanket can wrap it around them. Because Scott and I have decided it's definitely not really for us, this colour. I bought this yarn because I was so... I'm going to turn the camera around. I bought this yarn because I really wanted to make the matrix hood, and it was the only colour. I don't dislike the colour. I really like teal, but green is like a colour Scott really does not like, and it's got nothing to do with football, believe it or not. And it's also just not a blanket I had on my agenda for this year. So I didn't want to have to go through the whole rigmarole of selling the yarn, having to ship it, blah, blah, blah. And so I've just done another granny stitch project so that I can watch the game we were playing, as I've said earlier. But yeah, I really wanted to make the Matrix hood. And again, I did start it. It was on a 9mm needle, a hook with super bulky yarn. I think it's like super chunky, sorry. And to be fair, the ball band does say like 9mm hook and 9mm needles, but it's just too tight a tension for me, and it really was hurting. I'm going to take the blanket off. I am sweating underneath it. It's so heavy already. It's so warm. Whoever gets this is going to be over the moon with it, albeit we are starting to go into the wrong season to thoroughly enjoy this blanket. But yes, I will get those 2 balls of yarn on it maybe on Wednesday. If not Wednesday, then Friday. Because I'm out tomorrow night and I'm out Thursday night. So really Wednesday and Friday are the only 2 days I have to work on this, because there ain't no way I'm carrying this out and about. No way, Jose. I think I've worked out that I'm already 800 grams in, and I still have 2 balls of yarn to go. And when this is done, it's going to weigh 1.68 kg. So I think that's right. If it's not, you can all laugh at me. But yeah, that's me calling it a night. It's 10:30. I have work tomorrow. I have a cat to feed. I have to remember to take some stuff out for my lunch tomorrow. But yeah, thank you so much for watching another Monday vlog. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you had good weather where you are as well. We had good weather up until around 4 p.m. and then the wind got really bad. But yeah, thank you again for watching. Until the next vlog, please do stay safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye everyone.